Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be going over the last two sets I did in order to hit legend at a pretty up and down day. I started the day at 2960, went up to 2980, proceeded to go 05, and then slowly clawed my way back and got to legend on the very last set. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last two sets that I did in order to hit legend. I really like these teams. I think they're pretty interesting. This is a voiceover of my live stream. The first team obviously consists of Malmetal, Yveltal, and Giratina Origin. Unfortunately, Mamoswine is like a really huge core breaker for this team. So I throw the Rock Slide here. They shield. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing here right now because they're way over 100 energy at this point in time. Like I've done like 14 Psy Shocks, so they're at like 100, and they've done like 14 Powder Snows. So I don't shield this because I do expect them to bait, and then as well I can live one debuffed or one I'm debuffed move. So I built up to the Rock Slide, and then I'm going to switch because I have two Pokemon that can, and as well as expecting a Steel type or something in the back that was afraid of Malmetal, so might as well bait it out. I throw the Shadow Ball, does a tremendous amount of damage. I'm gonna let this go, and then I'm gonna wait the clock out here. I'm gonna wait the clock out here for a couple reasons. One, I don't get farmed down by the opposing Giratina, and as well I want to be able to switch out as soon as possible afterwards. I'm gonna build up to double superpower because they're not quite at another Iron Head yet. And if they shield this, then I'll throw another superpower at them. And then I'm going to throw the Rock Slide just for the chip damage. But this game is basically over. There's not really too much that Giratina Altered can do to a Yveltal up 2 shields. So we're just going to play out the rest of this match here. I am quite weak to Charm in the back. Giratina Origin is not the worst against most Charmers. Just because the Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball does do quite a bit of damage. The Zero Shield matchup with Togekiss is actually really close between Origin and Togekiss, so it's not really that comfortable for Charmers. But obviously, it does do quite well against Yveltal. So, farm down here, and then I take the first game on the second last set. And then we're going to have Malmetal into Dialga here. So this is good. So what I like to do here is I like to do 11 Thunder Shocks. That gets me to 99 energy. Then I throw the superpower. So I throw the superpower here. And then what I like to do is build back up. I never throw back to back because as a Dialga player, I want them to throw. So I throw the second superpower here. This is actually a little bit worrisome. Normally I tell people to match shields, but honestly the likelihood of a bait is extremely high here, so I let it go, and then I have to shield this one, and then my opponent makes a really nice play here. They catch on to Origin, so they did a really nice job counting there, and then I'm gonna switch. I have Yveltal here, and I have Yveltal here, and this is looking okay for me. I get an extra Snarl through, which is great for me. They unfortunately have Dragon Pulse here, and I'm gonna look to farm down after this Dark Pulse comes through, and I'm not gonna shield no matter what. Likelihood of them getting to another Dragon Pulse was really unlikely, and here comes Kyogre. They do get a free waterfall through. Not really too much I can do there. I throw the Dark Pulse. Maybe I should have went for the Focus Blast here, but I think I'm like 2 Snarls off, and I'm not entirely sure I would have survived 2 more Snarls. Let's see. 1, 2, yeah. No, I definitely would not have been able to survive. And I'm going to go into Origin here. I'm not going to shield this, definitely just a Surf. And I kind of make a misplay here. So I wanted to put them into superpower range. But what I should have done was just thrown the Omnis Wind and then switched. It doesn't really matter here though. So I throw the move here, and then I throw the superpower, and this game's over. I had this team pretty much hard countered, so unfortunate for the opposing trainer, and plus I still have a shield, so I can farm down. Alright, another very talented trainer. They're showing off their shiny Ho-Oh. So what I like to do here, start at 7. Sometimes I think about catching here, but I think in this matchup you want to go to 100. There's a couple ways you can play it. So now they have the Earthquake. I was able to get sneaking an extra Thundershock, which is great for me. I'm gonna throw 2 more. 1, 2. And then they can pretty much just Brave Bird me here. No, they need 1 more after this. Yeah, so they can Brave Bird me here. So I'm gonna just shield this and then look to farm down. And they come into Mewtwo. Well, a little bit slow on the switch here, but not too big a deal. Well, if I would have switched out faster, they end up having Focus Blast Psystrike. If I switch out faster, then I would have been able to get off 2 Dark Pulses. But this is quite okay, so not too big a deal. So they're going to be able to just barely be able to beat me to the move. So very nice timing on their side. And then I make a mistake here. Yeah, I make a mistake here. So I get the extra Shadow Claw through. And then I count to 4. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, because on the 5th one they would get it. But I could have just Shadow Clawed down. So that was a huge mistake on my side. Especially if they had like Dialga or something, then obviously it would have been way more difficult for me. They have Dragonite. 2, so 2 seconds. I'm going to switch here. And then I just want to put them into Rock Slide range, which they are now. And then I go for this farm down here for really no reason, because I already had 2 Rock Slides, so a couple, I had a pretty rough day, to be honest. So I definitely didn't play the best I could today. Experiencing a little bit of frustration. So going against J-Mills, one of the first legends, and very talented trainer. I considered no shielding this, so I did go for the bait here, mostly because the second superpower would be threatening now. But now we're gonna, instead of me beating them to the move, we're actually gonna tie, so he ends up shielding here. So we both have the same idea. We both want to catch, so I switch out into Yveltal, he switches out into Lugia. So this is pretty good for me, mostly because I can get to the second Dark Pulse before he can get to an Aeroblast. So he throws at 7, so very precise gameplay by him. I know this is just a Sky Attack. I know it's 3 more for the next Sky Attack, so I'm going to do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then I think he lets it go here. And what happens here? I'm 2 away. 1, 2. So he's at 3 right now. And I thought about going to Origin. I even didn't throw right away because I was expecting the switch, and then he made a very nice switch there, which is fine. So I noticed that he had Best Buddy, and I don't have Best Buddy on my my Giratina because I have it on my Melmetal. So I know I need to. So I'm gonna bait here regardless, right? Because he 2 Ominous Winds, he's gonna have to shield one of them. And then I should have thrown here right away, but for some reason, I was so stupid here. Because if I would have thrown here right away, I could have doubled up on Melmetal and then superpowered the. To be honest, the Excadrill would probably live the superpower, so it probably actually made no difference here. But maybe if I threw the Ominous Wind, I could potentially. Honestly, it looks like I could Thundershock down this Giratina. Yeah, I definitely could have Thundershock down. The Ominous Wind would have did more than the Rock Slide, so it was a dumb play on my side. Well played from J-Mills. Alright, Melmetal Mirror. We'd love to see it. I do have Best Buddy over this Melmetal. So they do throw here. I get no Thundershock through, which is a little unfortunate for me. I do throw right away. And then I'm going to build up. And I'm not going to shield this. And then I'm going to build up to, I think I built up to 2. Oh, okay, so they come into Lugia. So again, pretty good for me. As long as I don't let, get an extra snarl through, which is great for me. They do have one Dragon Tail advantage because I did switch out slowly. So I'm going to throw the Dark Pulse here. So I think I do 2 more. I do one. No, I do 1 more. Okay, apparently. I guess just to be safe. Okay, yeah, that was the right call. Yeah. Because they had a one Dragon Tail advantage. So I throw at 5 here. Kind of risky play on my side, but I did want to be able to put this into. I did want to be able to land the. They get an extra Thundershock there, so they're at 4 right now. I want to be able to get this Dark Pulse off, and they're at 5. So they have a superpower right now. So I go into Giratina, and they actually superpower my Giratina. And then I should have switched out faster here, but I was in a as well. Maybe I should have considered double superpowering here instead. I'm not entirely sure. So they end up getting to the Dark Pulse, which is quite bad for me. And the Malmetal is so there's a couple of bad things here. So when the Malmetal's 5 away, I need this to KO to be able to win. It just doesn't KO. I get an extra Shadow Claw through, but that really doesn't matter because I'm going to farm me down regardless. And so the Malmetal's completely dry, and I thought I was going to lose here because they get the Rock Slide right here. But the thing is, they have a 35-84 Malmetal, which is also the same CP as a 14-15-15 Malmetal, and I actually won that because they had a 14 attack Malmetal, and 14 attack Malmetal loses to Giratina Origin in CMP versus the 15 attack one wins. So here I had, honestly, this matchup was a total disaster here. As you can see, I'm like lagging like crazy right now, and then all of a sudden my game, I do two. So they had 6 before they threw, and then I do 2 waterfalls, and then they have another one, which makes no sense. Yeah, I lag here again, and this matchup's just a total disaster right now. I experienced some like pretty awful lag, but didn't really matter. This person probably would have beat me anyway. So yeah, I just thankfully I was able to farm this thing down. And then they come in Excadrill here. So what I should have done here was I should have just Draco'd right away and just sacked Dialga, and then put it all onto Groudon. But I was stupid here. And then as well, so they go to 6 here. So I thought about how I was gonna play this. I shield this. I really shouldn't have shielded this, because I could have farmed down this Yveltal here and then just baited and Draco'd, but it was a dumb play on my side, so I decided to farm it down here. And then here I should have went. Okay, so here's the thing. So I throw two Dragon Breaths, and then I throw the move. They get an extra Mud Shot through, and then they call the bait here, which is a smart play on their side, because if they didn't get that Mud Shot through, then I would have been able to Draco them. But I should have just went for the nuke there. But well played on their side. Yeah, well played on their side. Alright, so we're going to this next game here. Malmetal versus... okay, so they switch out. And... I think I throw the Thunder here. Yeah, throw the Thunder here. So I expect them to have a second Malmetal counter. And I do expect it to be a Dragon, because I'm presuming that they would switch out to try to like bait out the Togekiss or something. I'm not entirely sure, or bait out the Dialga, because it wants to. I should have shielded the first Aero Blast, to be honest. And then I decide to throw basically one Dragon Tail before they get to another Sky Attack, and then I'm gonna be able to Draco this Malmetal. Which is pretty good chip damage here. Gonna be able to put them into Surf range, which is good for me. And then I come into Kyogre here, and I was actually really lucky here that they didn't superpower me, because you're gonna see at the end how that is gonna impact the match. And then I go into Groudon with Dragon Tail, which is actually a really good counter versus Giratina Origin. I let it go. I'm not going to shield Groudon at all. Oh, I do shield once, actually. No, I don't want to say shield at all, because I do shield here. I could have lived it for sure. Obviously, they would get to another one, and the Fire Punch wouldn't KO. And now I'm going to look to farm all the way down. They're going to have to throw on Malmetal. So I Fire Punch here. They do have a Rock Slide already. But I was actually really fortunate here that they went for the Rock Slide and not the Superpower. Because if they went for Superpower any of those 2 times, then I would have been able to... I wouldn't have been able to beat them to the move. Because it takes 4.5 seconds to get to the Surf after 2 waterfalls. And it takes them 5 seconds to make it to another Rock Slide. So I just beat them by 1 turn. So... And now I'm facing FP6 for a second time today. I'm sure if you watched my shorts that you saw him absolutely destroy me. So not a great lead. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. He comes into Articuno, which is not the worst matchup because I do have Dragon Tail and Fire Punch. The Dragon Tail obviously aims for neutral damage. But the thing is, like, I don't have a great counter to Haxorus. So I am going to look to shield once. Try to take a shield, and then I figured shields down is better for me because Haxorus really needs shields to be able to perform well. I thought about shielding here, but taking the switch advantage does really nothing for me. So I probably shouldn't have thrown that Dragon Tail there, so I could have got another waterfall through, but that's okay. And then here comes the Haxorus. As you can see, Haxorus is so squishy. I don't really need to worry about anything Haxorus charge move wise. It's all about like its counter and high attack damage. So I throw the Surf, which he ends up shielding, and then I build up a little bit here. Then I'm going to switch into Dialga. I don't need to shield whatever move it's going to throw. Dragon Claw is going to hit for neutral. Night Slash will hit for neutral. And then I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. Like, yesterday was definitely a struggle for me. As you can see, I think he actually probably stopped tapping there because I was definitely struggling quite a bit here. I have no idea what his energy's at. And then I'm going to throw the Draco here. And I'm in a good spot right now because this Haxorus is super low. And one waterfall does take it. I would live a Dragon Claw there just barely. But yeah, it was pretty rough. Alright, so we go into the next game here. Kyogre into Machamp. Not that common of a lead that you see. I'm going to throw the Surf here. As you can see, these waterfalls are really chunking this Shadow Machamp quite a bit. And I get an extra waterfall through. I'm not entirely sure how, because they should have thrown at 7. But I think they opted for the additional one. And then here comes Rayquaza. And then I count here, and this is just an Ancient Power. I think they need 2 more to make it to the Outrage. Yeah, 2 more to the Outrage. And then I throw the Iron Head here, which certainly would KO the Machamp. Machamp is close to another move, like 2 counters away. But it's definitely going to look to farm me down. And I'm like, okay, please give me this waterfall. It doesn't, which is terrible for me. And then here comes Swampert. I'm going to throw the Surf here. This is a Shadow Swampert, so this is a really spicy team. Unfortunately for them, Shadow Swampert's really squishy. And I get the extra waterfall through. I'm like, I might as well just shield this, right, for the waterfall damage. And one more waterfall will KO this Swampert. And then one more waterfall will KO this Machamp. And that's going to be a GG. Alright, and this is the final game. Honestly, this didn't really feel much like a Legend set here. So I go to Groudon here. And Groudon is very good against these Dragon double steel teams, which is what this person has. I won't tell them what steels have. They're quite spicy. But yeah, honestly, these last few battles were people that are probably just trying to tank before Go Battle Night. So they're just running all sorts of memeing Pokemon. So it felt kind of weird, to be honest. Throw the Fire Punch here. And then So Metagross actually beats Groudon in the 1 and 2 shield when you have Dragon Tail. So they could have went to Metagross right away and then shielded once. But obviously you didn't quite realize that. I get the second shield, which is really nice for me. Because the Fire Punch doesn't do that much damage, but probably anticipated that I didn't have another counter, or didn't have something that would do more damage. Because the Surf this Surf actually just barely doesn't KO, and they make it to another Meteor Mash, which is fine for me. And they actually end up having a Magna Zone here, so this is a. And this game's over, right? So I'm gonna be able to throw the Surf here. It does so much damage. This is why we need Masters Premier, because these legendaries are just way too strong for even one most dominant Pokemon in Masters Premier in Magna Zone. They throw the Wild Charge at me, it does like absolutely nothing. They throw another one. I'm in the red, but the Dragonite has no energy. So that concludes my Legend run. Thank you again for everyone tuning in. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.